So if you've been looking for a support legendary build to complete legendary missions with your friend, and your friend happens to like to run all red builds, in this video, I'll be showing you a build that does exactly just that. My teammate was running an all red build and I was running this same exact build on legendary difficulty. And when I tell you this felt like we were playing a heroic mission, that is exactly how it felt because of this build and how it works. Now, some of you guys may be asking, well, Skills, it looks like you're doing damage. How are you even healing your teammate? Well, did you know that there is a green gear set that is a skill damage set that also can heal? Well, there is. It's called Refactor. And the reason this set is so good, not because of the 2-piece, but because of the 3-piece. The 3-piece is going to give you 25% extra skill damage. And you might have noticed I am running a striker drone and an assault turret. Not only that, the 4-piece gives us a talent called Return to Sender. Receive repairs of 10% of damage dealt by your skills, but your allies receive repairs of 20% of damage dealt by your skills. And with the amount of damage my skills are putting out, it's going to create some crazy survivability for my teammate. Take a look at this moment when my teammate loses all his armor, and look how fast he gains his armor back. Just look at it. Almost instantly, he gained his armor back. And remember, he is running an all red striker build. So the survivability just isn't there, right? It's pure damage. And with my build, it gives him a little bit more comfort. It allows me to aggro a little bit more of the incoming damage. You're going to see in a second, my 1.3 million armor actually kept me up. I still lose it, right? I get hit really hard. But then look, I don't have to pop a med kit or anything. And little by little, my armor comes back as long as my skills are putting out damage. Remember, if your skills aren't damaging anything, your armor won't come back. But as soon as it comes back, I never even had to pop my armor kit. I also have the armor regen on this build, and the 3% armor regen, you pair that up with the repairs that you're getting from the skill damage. It's just a build that I find works so good, especially in duels. I felt like we were the perfect time. Look at that. See my armor just come back? I took an explosive damage to the face and I never even had to pop a med kit. Typically, you would be in cover trying to pop med kits, but with this build, your skills are just going to be putting out damage, and that damage in return becomes healing for you and your teammate. So that is a win-win. But I know a lot of you guys are probably asking, yo, Skills, what build were you using and could you break it down for us? But I wanted to show you one more close call where the healing did save me. So I'm peeking too much, taking way too much damage. I lose my armor, and right away, my skills do the initial heal, and I need to target something. As soon as I target something, the skills start to hit damage. You can start to see my armor comes back. Never ever popped an armor kit. So that's where that survivability in this build works out for you and your teammate. But let's get into the build right now. And for the weapon, we are running the capacitor, which is probably one of the best assault rifles for skill damage builds. Now on this weapon, we have 105,000 total damage, 700 RPM, 41 in the magazine, 75% headshot damage. And this weapon does come with assault rifle damage and damage to armor. Now the talent you want to get on there, the attribute is damage to targets out of cover. Now, the talent is what really makes this the best skill damage build assault rifle in the game. Shooting enemies builds a stat cap of 40. Each stat grants 1.5% skill damage. After 5 seconds, the DK is 1 per second. Now, for each yellow core, you get skill tier gain of 7.5% weapon damage. So not only are we getting a ton of damage because we are going to be running 5 yellows on this build, but we also are going to get damage because of, well, we're going to be putting out a lot of damage when we're building those stacks. So it's a win-win for us. Now, we have critical hit chance on here, 11 rounds, critical hit damage 30%, and a 10% weapon handling. For our secondary, you can put on whatever you want. I choose to put the mop. I think this is actually a really good one because you can actually put preservation on there, and it already comes with armor on kill 10%, and then preservation on top of that could give you some survivability. But again, it's really up to you how you want to run this. So the set that we are running and that you guys saw in the gameplay is the Refactor set. Now, for the core attribute, it does have skill tier. We went with 10% skill damage on all the pieces. And then this mod, you could put whatever you want. I decided to go with crit chance to boost up my crit chance a little bit. But if you feel like you don't really care about that and you want a little bit more survivability, you could put protection from elites here. For the chest piece, we went with the Wyvern Word chest piece. This is going to give us 8% skill damage We have one skill tier. You keep going down. We put skill damage and skill haste. And again, critical hit chance. Again, if you guys don't want the crit chance, you can put protection from elites. Now, kinetic momentum is probably going to be one of the better pieces to put in here. The reason being is because it puts out a lot of damage and you don't have to worry about any of that incoming damage from something like glass cannon. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active and not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1.5%. Total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill, which is so good for a skill damage build. And that's why I personally like running kinetic momentum on my skill damage builds. For our second piece of refactor, we went with the holster, and we're gonna have skill tier, skill damage. For our third piece of refactor, we went the knee pads, armor, and skill damage. And for our gloves, our fourth and final piece of refactor, we went with armor and skill damage. Now, if you guys want to be running at tier 6 skill, without the modifiers, well, then that's where you can find one of these and put yellow. And then I went with the Memento backpack, which a lot of people might say, but skills, you're not solo. But the reason why this is so good is not because we get weapon damage, armor, skill tier, and then obviously crit chance is the mod. You could put protection from elites. It's because when we have a max stack and we've picked up all those trophies, we're going to have additional 30% weapon damage, but 30% skill efficiency. And remember, skill efficiency, skill damage, skill haste, skill duration, that's in a lot of extra damage duration that you're going to get on those skills. We also get the survivability for the 3% armor regen, and all we have to do is keep picking up trophies, and when we're on legendary, we're going to end up getting these. Now, remember, if I pick up a trophy, I'm going to gain additional 5% skill efficiency for every yellow core on the build. And then I'm going to get 10% bonus armor for every blue core and 5% weapon damage for every red core. So a lot of survivability, some more extra damage, and this is why you can go out there, keep your teammates up, help put out damage. And if you look at the skills, we went with the assault turret, and we're going to have damage, duration, and skill haste on the mods. And for the second skill, we went to striker drone, duration, health, and damage. Now, you guys might be wondering, well, how are you getting 5 yellow tiers and you only have 4 yellows on your build? With a technician class, not only do you get 10% skill damage, you also get 1 skill tier. So that means we're sitting at 5 skill tiers on the build. That's why I said, if you guys want to be at 6, you could change one of the blues out and run it that way. If we take a look at our stats real quick, you'll see we're at 38% crit chance, 75% crit damage, and then 12% armor damage and 10% damage targets out of cover. So we hit pretty decently, and that's what I like about it. Now, if we go over to our survivability, we're going to have 1.3 million armor, and then remember, we have 3% armor regen once we're at full stacks. Now, if you guys want to lower the crit chance and raise the protection from elites, you guys can do that too. But this is the build right here, and this is the one that I recommend running if you guys are going to be running it with a teammate. And if you don't need the survivability, or you feel like you don't like how Memento is working for this build, what you could do is you could actually swap that out and then look for something like an Impress backpack, run a 2-piece Impress if you want, and put combined arms on there, or you could even go with perfect combined arms. You guys can decide how you guys want to run this. Obviously, you just put skill damage on there. But for me, I really like the survivability that I get out of this. And you guys saw in that duel, this worked perfectly. It was a perfect combination of an all red build and then a 1.3 million skill damage build that also healed you and your teammates. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one. Hey, nothing but skills out.